I was about 15 and I was in high school and I wasn't feeling good. We were constantly going back and forth to the doctors and they said I had fibromyalgia and I had this and I had that and nothing was adding up.
This summer, about a year ago, things really got pretty scary, pretty bad because she couldn't get out of bed, blowing up, not eating and vomiting and diarrhea nonstop. I don't know why it took us even that long to ignore it. And then finally, well, in Princeton, they said the word, heart, and they were pretty scared over there too because they actually, remember, had someone come in. It was a friend. He wasn't even affiliated with the hospital, but he was a heart guy in Philadelphia. And he just said, this is serious. This is heart. This is all heart related. But the only place to go is Newark. I remember my one sister sort of on the table with Samantha. I think Dr. Zucker didn't really know who he was examining at that point. I mean, and me, I was there I just kept saying, okay, where's the meds? We need the meds because we're going to get 10 years out of her life. And suddenly he's just listening to Samantha's story and he knew.
When he was saying things like, she was throwing up, he would say heart. Where before we were getting, maybe it's gallbladder, maybe it's a virus, she had the terrible pains in heart. Like it all of a sudden was, why didn't the other doctors see this?
I thought I was going to just get an LVAD or an RVAD and go home. And I remember saying to my aunt one day that I was going to probably come back in a few months for a transplant. And the family kind of looked at me like, all right, yeah, if that's what you want to believe.
To start with, she had a background that would make most people afraid of needing a heart transplant. Her father actually had a heart transplant at another major center, and the family actually had given me the records, after we started taking care of her. And even after her father had transplant, never did well.
And the scary part was Peter's new heart was rejected in 6 weeks. So I didn't believe in transplants.
But unfortunately, because her disease involved both sides of her heart, eventually her right side failed, which actually was exactly what happened to her father after his transplant.
It was hard for me to understand why, if her dad had to go through this and my Aunt Laura already had to go through this once, why was it happening again? Why would something this terrible repeat itself?
My mom would tell me things and, you'd kind of say, oh, yeah, but not even really taking the full thought. But then you get there, you see all these wires hooked up to her, what's in her arm, and it was really just crazy.
The nurses on that floor and the doctors on that floor were amazing because they literally had to work on Samantha in her room. They couldn't even get her down to surgery. She would not have made it.
So we had people taking days off from work, using vacation days to make sure that they were there for Samantha to give me. I think everyone was really concerned about me. So actually Friday was my night to have off. I worked and I was really supposed to. It was kind of covered. And for some reason I knew I had to be at the hospital. And I came home early and I said to Frankie, I'm going up to the hospital. And he said, okay. We went, and my girlfriend was there, Diana, and she's just like, you're not supposed to be here, it's not your shift. And my cousin Adrian came later, what are you doing here, it's not your shift. But it was a very weird night, and Samantha was, she was in it was like this coma state, but she was squeezing hands and stuff, and there was a horrible feeling, and I knew it was really bad, and Diana had been with her all day. It was just bad, everyone knew it. And when I was walking down the hall one time, there was a nurse. I can't think of her name. Skinny little nurse. And she actually grabbed me and she said, you need to pray for heart tonight. And I was like, I know, I pray every night. And she said, no, tonight. And I remember we stayed late and we left. Aunt Linda, I think, was there too, but Adrian. And I cried the whole way home because I said to Frankie, tonight's your last night because there's nothing. They've tried every piece of equipment that they have, and although the equipment is all great, for some reason Samantha has gone downhill very, very rapidly.
And we were seeing it as, you know what, then this is it. This is not good, and we're all just going to pray a little harder. And when I tell you, friends and family and the power of prayer, it truly, truly, truly works.
It was 10 after 5 in the morning as I slept with the cell phone right with me constantly. I don't know what I thought when the phone, not that I thought she had died, but I knew the phone call wasn't good. I just knew it. And that's when Dr. Barron told me, today is a great day for Samantha. We have located a heart.
It's certainly not 100% at this point, but it's all looking good. And she said, oh my God, and she screamed, and she actually said something crazy into the phone that I wouldn't repeat on camera. And he said, like I said, Laura, it's going to be a great day for Samantha.
Because we got a donor offer, a beautiful donor heart. And it just happened in the nick of time.
I woke up and I had a breathing tube down my throat, and I went to like move my arms and they were just so weak. So the first thing I thought was, oh my God, they did the wrong surgery. You know, you see those movies, I thought, oh my God, they took my arm off or something.
Although Samantha now had a new healthy heart, her journey to health was far from complete. Rehab was on the horizon.
You know, I said, well, I got the heart on September 28th. I want to be home, you know, by like October 4th. You know, I got my nephew's birthday. And they were like, no, it's not going to work that way. So that took a while to focus on that. But my physical therapist at the hospital, Erin, worked with me for hours. And then they said that maybe I would be home in time for Thanksgiving. So my goal was I had to be home by November 1st. And luckily, with determination and help and support, I was out of the hospital on October 24th. I'm all about now, I got a second chance at life, so I need to use it the right way. So I look at it as I have 365 days every year for the rest of my life to pay it forward. And it is my job to do so. Whether that is telling my story so people know how important organ donation is. I speak with Dr. Camacho at the Liberty Science Center, which is one heck of an experience. If it's making someone laugh, if it's, you know, just doing something kind, giving that waitress a little bit of an extra tip because, you know, she's working so hard and you don't know anyone else's story. But definitely enjoying everything to the fullest.
Through the more than 6-week ordeal, the staff at Newark Beth Israel Medical Center became family, especially the nurses.
Frankie, my mother's husband, he made a cheesecake for one that we became so close to, Dana, because he knew that she loved cheesecake. They were phenomenal. And the doctors, they're phenomenal. The doctors saved my life. And every time I go up there, they know my name, they ask how my grandma's doing, how are my aunts, how's my brother. They became, even the social worker Val, they're part of the family. On Thanksgiving, I know my mom emailed them and they wrote back that they were so happy for me and my family. They don't realize that they're more than just doctors. I don't think that, like Camacho, I said to her like, oh, how many lives did you save today? And she, you know, shook her head and she's like, well, it's just my job. And no, she allowed me to be with my family for countless years. There's no way you can thank someone for that. I just celebrated my 6 months with my happy, healthy heart, and I emailed all of them to thank them for giving me that opportunity. And they all wrote back thanking me for reminding them why they do what they do. They are one hell of a team.
There we go.